The Traditional Native American Farmers Association is on a mission to save and revitalize the cultivation of traditional crops in Native communities. In the past years, the use of genetically modified organisms, also known as GMOs and GEs, has grown, but without adequate testing on the effects on humans and the environment, many feel the use may cause irreversible damage. Miguel Santisteban, a PhD candidate in biology sustainability studies at the University of New Mexico, works closely with the association. He explains more.
There's a medical doctor out there that funded a documentary on the genetic engineering of Chile just because of the outrage that this is happening, that we are being human guinea pigs, you know, because there's not adequate medical testing, there's not labeling, there's not adequate regulation. And so this is all happening unbeknownst to us. And we're just going shopping and we're buying this food and we like processed food and these kinds of things. But a lot of this stuff is more unhealthy for us than we would have ever imagined. It's worse than, you know, bad for your cholesterol or bad for diabetes. You know, there's a whole nother element to it that could make those health conditions worse. And people who are in the know are outraged about it.
The association is also doing all they can to keep traditional crops free from GMO contamination, but recently faced a roadblock at the state level.
We passed resolutions on seed sovereignty, food and seed sovereignty, that passed the All-Indian Pueblo Council, 8 northern pueblos, Tesuque Pueblo, Pojoaque Pueblo, Santa Fe County, Rio Arriba County, passed resolutions that recognized our rights to save seeds free of genetic engineering contamination. When we took these documents to the state legislature, to the Conservation Committee, Senator Ulibarri said, oh, well, this was 2005. You know, these are outdated. How could food and seed sovereignty be outdated?
I tried contacting Senator Unbari and other members of the Conservation Committee, but wasn't able to get a reply. However, I was able to obtain recordings from the hearing in question.
I don't want the impression out there that I'm not for the small farmers. I am. I'm for anything that helps our small farmers because that's rural New Mexico. I come from rural New Mexico. I am just questioning the urgency of this bill. I'm questioning of the full-blown, like I said again, I'm repeating myself, but this is a complex bill. I was trying to read it now and go through some of the resolutions, and I personally do not see the urgency of this bill, and I really think it needs a good dialogue and good going over, Senator, and it's not the bill, and I'd probably support it because it's small businesses, and I want to take care of the small farmers of New Mexico, but I think it's just a process of all of a sudden this bill has sprung up on us. It's a dummy bill to begin with, and it is a complex bill, so I would recommend that it go through Water and Natural Resources or even your committee, Madam Chair. With that, thank you, Senator. Thank you, Madam Chair.
We do know that the suits are happening in other states, and maybe if we take it to the interim next year, there'll be 6 or 7 farmers who've lost everything who can come back and say, so I can't tell you for sure if that's going to happen, and you are right. If there is no issue and if it's unintentional, then you could argue the other side, which is, why is the industry so threatened by saying if it's unintentional, put it in a bill just to protect them. So, but maybe we need to lose maybe 10 or 15 or 20 or 100 small farmers need to be wiped out by big lawsuits like has happened in other states, and then they can come back, and there will be some urgency. I mean, I would hate to see some family farms go that route, but maybe that's what it'll take.
Regardless of the block, Miguel and countless others continue to fight for the protection of traditional seeds and crops.
And they've taken this too far. It's one thing to fence up the land and kill the animals, kill the buffalo. That's one thing, but to create a technology, to me, this is the most blatant face of genocide. If you kill what the people eat, then you kill the people. So if they take this ability away from us and they're at the beginning of doing that, then we lost. forever. We lost it all. But the flip side of that is we have the power to take it back. But we have to activate and keep our crops alive, keep our food traditions alive. We have to activate and let these political leaders know.
Not only does the Farmers Association involve itself in actions such as these, but they've also incorporated community-based workshops into their program in an effort to encourage sustainable living through indigenous knowledge. Clayton Bracupe, the director of the Farmers Association, sat down and shared the importance of working with elders from these native communities.
Mid-90s, and it kept coming up as a concern with the older farmers that didn't see a younger generation replacing them, I guess you might say. And when they were losing the older farmers, the knowledge and information would go with them, but also the seeds. So they convened a meeting in Gallup, New Mexico, and out of that meeting, we decided to address it by forming this association. Our mission has been to revitalize traditional agriculture for spiritual and human use. That's our mission statement, and that's what we've been doing.
The association held their 15th annual Indigenous Sustainable Communities Design course this past summer in the neighboring community of Santa Cruz at the Camino de Paz Farm and School. It's a 2-week intensive course focused on creating sustainable communities by utilizing indigenous knowledge from a wide range of cultures. Some of the topics that are covered by the course include women in agriculture, traditional agriculture, organic agriculture, seed saving, butchering, traditional foods, traditional diet and nutrition, alternative building, and land restoration. The participants are taught in a hands-on environment, encouraging growth as a community.
It's not just about that, about farming, planting seeds. That's part of what we do. But like I was saying, that's the foundation of our culture. So
for NAPT, this is Kira Lasilu in Santa Cruz, New Mexico.